Hey friends, welcome back to Rita Talks. I'm Rita, and on this YouTube channel, I just share some of the thoughts, ideas that I've been thinking about. And in today's video, I just want to talk about an idea that comes from quantum physics, but that I feel applies a lot to life, especially when it comes to mindset and basically believing in ourselves and in our abilities, and basically people who believe in us, like how people who believe in us could have a huge impact on our life, and like surrounding ourselves with uh, our proponents rather than the people who don't believe in us, because that has like basically an impact on how we feel about ourselves. And basically this notion, it's basically the premise is this: subatomic particles will change their behavior based on what the observer is expecting to see. And this is like something that's defined in quantum mechanics, the fact that at any given time, a quantum entity will be at both states at the same time. But when we observe that quantum quantity, then it moves from that state of superposition to one of the two states that it was that were possible. And basically, this is most commonly known as basically the most common example is the Schrodinger's cat. So basically, this quantum cat is in a box, and the cat is both dead and alive before we check. And so after we check, the cat is either dead or alive, and basically the quantum particle, when measured, takes one of the two states. So basically it forces it into that state. And this is really interesting. Like, this is an idea that I came across again today in this podcast episode that I was listening to by on Mo Gaudat's podcast. So the podcast's name is Slow Mo, and he had this episode with Dr. Bradley Nelson. And basically, this guy, Dr. Bradley Nelson, is talking about some healing things. I think he's a healer or something like that. I mean, to be honest, I'm pretty skeptical of this kind of stuff. But the stories that he was telling were super interesting, which might make me consider reading his books. But anyway, beyond the fact that he's a healer and does all this stuff, like the fact that he cited this subatomic particles will change their behavior based on what the observer is expecting to see is something that I thought was very interesting, and it reminded me of this whole quantum physics thing. And basically, the thing is, I feel like this often manifests in real life, like when you surround yourself with people who actually believe in you, you end up, truly flourishing and being able to achieve whatever, like, I guess, reach your potential. But when you're surrounded by people who don't believe in you and bring you down, you're much your chances of achieving your potential decreases. And basically, it's this 10x versus 0.1x rule. So with the right surrounding yourself with the right people gives you the potential to 10x your abilities, but surrounding yourself with the wrong people multiplies your abilities by 0.1%. So basically it decreases them by 10 times rather than increasing them by 10 times. And this is just a topic that's really important to me because I truly believe in this rule. I think I've been talking about this to my friends for the past, or just people I know in general, for the past, I don't know, 7 or 8 years, I've been excruciatingly aware of this, you know, rule that you're the average of the 5 people that you hang out with. And this rule that of the 10x versus 0.1x rule I just came across maybe a few weeks back, but it really stuck with me. And another facet of this is seeing things through this quantum lens, which basically, I don't know if it's actually true. There's like quantum physics is true, and because we're humans made of particles, made of subatomic particles on some deeper level, this could actually be something that, like a scientific justification. It would be interesting to go down that road, but I feel like this is just an analogy of basically like if the people around you are not expecting you to achieve much and basically not rooting for you, then that will affect on a subatomic level your ability to do the things that you seek and basically achieve your potential. But I think I don't know about the scientific validity of this, obviously, but I think as a metaphor, this is super helpful because I've been thinking about this idea that measuring things changes the state. So basically, let's say I'm preparing for an exam, and basically I keep. So basically, I'm the kind of person that does the bulk of the work, like really coming up to the deadline or the exam, and that's just because like how my brain works. And I also like this idea of just in time because basically of the what is it? I don't remember his name, but basically work expands to fill the time allocated to it. So I'm trying to be uh, like to be more conscious of that, because I remember when I was a student, I would give myself a lot of time, but then the work would expand to that time because I would not be very focused and going straight to the point. Whereas now I'm making more of an effort of not doing things just in case, but doing them just in time. So basically, uh, leaving things to the last minute, but it's not really leaving things to the last minute, it's optimizing my time so that like basically I'm making the best use of it, and I'm not spending wasting time by trying to start things too early. I do believe that like there is such a thing as starting something too early because you're anxious and things like that. And this is like a pitfall that I used to fall for a lot. And actually, I still fall for it. It's just that I'm being more because I have so much going on. I'm being more intentional about this. That I'm trying not to fill my time with the anxiety and start things way earlier than I should start them. So anyway, um, what was I trying to? What was the point that I was trying to make? So we were talking about subatomic particles. Yes. So basically, this idea that measuring something actually changes the state, and that the state is influenced by the expectation. That's interesting. I don't think that's stated in the basically the Schrödinger cat, or basically this whole quantum physics thing. But I do think, like, I think that's new information for me. I need to look it up, like whether it's actually scientifically correct to say that the state of the subatomic particle will be influenced by the measure. I just know that basically measuring something, like from a quantum physics perspective, measuring something will basically measuring a quantum entity will force the quantum entity to take one or the other state. So I guess if we see it through that lens, then it actually does affect the state of the quantum particle. But I don't, like, my understanding from when I studied some quantum physics back like I think 5 years ago or something like that, was that there was no, like, basically the likelihood of reaching either of the two states was the same. So this is new information that uh, to me, that basically actually the state of what we're gonna measure is going to be the state that we expect. And that's really interesting. Like it goes into this, like, this raises some very metaphysical questions that I don't have any answers to or haven't explored too deeply. So this is definitely a field that I want to learn more about. Um, but basically, like, just to get back to the example, I'm going in circles. Sorry about that. Just to get back to the example that I was trying to make, when I'm studying for something, because I'm the kind of person who's like likes to do things. I've become the kind of person who likes to do things just in time rather than just in case. Um, uh, a lot of the people in my life don't really get that. I think the status quo is that people have to be anxious and people have to be stressed out in order to perform well. And basically, because of their conceptions about what you should do in order to get to a state, because of their lack of knowledge of that area, uh, basically causes them to stress me out. So let's take for example this the citizenship thing. So I have my citizenship interview next week, but so far I have not really studied for it, but that's a bit intentional because I was super busy over the past couple of weeks. Anyway, since I found out that I was gonna have this French citizenship interview, but I'm gonna prepare for it and I'm gonna give it my all and all of that stuff. I don't have a doubt about that. Now I have more of a confidence in my ability to follow through on things. And I use this as a base to be able to predict my my future ability in a way, or just use this as a baseline confidence level to build on. But anyway, so since I told my family when I received that, uh, like literally every time I talk to my mom or one of my sisters on the phone, like they keep asking me, "Hey, have you started studying?" I'm like, "Yeah, but that's just like it's an exam. I've done much harder exams. I don't doubt my ability to be able to study for this. So like there is no need for me to start studying three. It's not that there is no need. It's that I will just literally waste my time by procrastinating. I know myself, and when I start something 3 weeks before, I know myself that I will only do it 2 days before. And so instead of wasting my time feeling bad about not studying and procrastinating and getting anxiety because of the bad expectations that I set for myself, uh, I decided not to set those expectations. And I know that next weekend, probably, I'm gonna spend a big chunk of my time studying for this. And in the meantime, I don't have to worry about it and I can focus on other things. So like when I start working on that, I'm at 100% focus, and basically I'm not like my attention is not split, and basically I can just focus on that 100%. And basically, like, to get back to this quantum physics thing, anyway, a bit of a hard concept to explain. I know that I have it in my head, but basically, when people measure, so basically they keep asking me, have I studied? It actually changes my state and basically makes me doubt my ability because of their doubt in their abilities to do this. I don't know if it's their doubt in their ability to do this, but their doubt in my ability to do this. But I know I have evidence that I can do this kind of stuff, but because they don't live with me day to day and they don't know what's happening in my head and uh, how much work I've been able to produce in the past, they don't know that I'm capable of this, and then they make me doubt myself, and that gives me like this uh, undertone of anxiety that I really don't like, which is actually one of the reasons that I don't like when there's something important for me, I don't like to share it too much, uh, because I just want to spend all my energy working on that important thing rather than just convincing my parents or my sisters that I can do it. Like, it takes me so much energy to have to say to my mom, yes, I know, I got this, leave me alone. Like, I love you, mom, thank you. I know that this comes from a good place. And this is in no way a critique of that. I just, it's just not helpful for me when you keep projecting your anxiety onto me, and then I start absorbing it. But it's okay. But this, mom, I love you. I love you. I love you. Sorry for saying this. I'm just trying to explain what's happening in my mind, and yeah, like, I've been able to do this in the past, so I trust in my ability to do this. And basically, because my mom does not see me when I'm at my most hardworking, because that's just not the circumstances I'm in when I'm around her. She doesn't get that I've gone through much harder things in my life. I've done class préparatoire, I've done Georgia Tech, uh, and now I've done this. I studied for like 1 full month of applied science, studying like lots of all-nighters and basically making sure that I have the right information. I have systems in place. I trust my ability to be able to do this, and this is genuinely like, in terms of workload, I've done so much harder in my life. Even not even not, let's not talk about prepa. Even my baccalaureate I've done was hard, probably harder than this is going to be. Even my brevet was probably harder than this is going to be. Like, this is not, like, it's really important for me to be able to get the French citizenship, but it does not mean that the interview will be hard. So there is no point in me studying 3 weeks prior. I only study 3 weeks prior if I have a huge mathematical uh, class or something that I know absolutely nothing about. And this is not the case. I've grown up in the French system. I've lived in France for 8 years, which is why I'm currently applying for the French citizenship. I mean, I think it should be fine. I mean, I hope it will be fine. I don't like to jinx myself, but like, if we just look at this from an objective perspective, I don't want to sound like like an asshole by saying this, but if you just look at this as compared to the previous things that I've done in my life, I think I can handle it, and yeah, I can do it. It's not bad to have this because I have evidence that I can do it. So I'm not worried about that, but my mom has a tendency to over stress, over, like, be over anxious about things, and that's definitely something that, in a way, she transmitted to me for a really long period of time, and I'm really like, and it has affected me for the majority of my life, and I've been really intentional about trying to overcome this anxiety and basically find peace without fear and live without fear and anxiety. So yeah, especially when these kinds of things come from my mom, it's just like a punch in the gut, because it's really important. Like, she's my mom, and I really want to listen to her. But also, she, like, her anxiety and fear takes a huge part in her life, and that's not how I choose to live my life anymore. Because I know it's not right. It's not helpful. Does not make me happy, and it does not help my performance. It actually makes it worse. So yeah, like, there's definitely a balance to strike. Like, I want to listen to my mom, but in this specific, like, I try to give importance to everything that she said, like, consider everything individually, but I try to find a middle ground there, because I don't want to be like, I don't want to regret things. Especially, like, of course, she has lots of more experience. She's older and all of that kind of stuff, wiser sometimes. Wiser because of age and experience. So yeah, it just, like, it hits so close to home when it comes from my mom, because it's really important to me. But I know also that this mindset of fear is not a helpful mindset. So, like, it's always really hard for me to follow what I've learned from experience and from myself, versus what my mom says. And I have to be extremely convinced, and I need to, like, that's why it creates so much anxiety in me, because it comes from my mom. So it's like it has a higher value than a lot of the things that people tell me in life. So yeah, just trying to find the right balance there, and still listen to my mom when it's worth listening to, but not listen blindly, but basically put it through this system that I have for categorizing things. Like, is this fear-based? Is this anxiety-based? Is there some actual facts behind this fear and anxiety? If there is not, then follow uh, my my system. But if there is, then use that and feed into the system. So yeah, it's an interesting topic, because it's a really hard one. It really hits close to home. But basically, whenever people keep on asking me things, it basically changes my state, like, makes me more anxious, so less likely to succeed at the thing. And basically, I need to isolate myself from those negative thoughts, because people, like, when people don't believe in you, um, when people keep telling you that they don't believe in you, it's really hard, uh, for me, at least, as a person. So I try to overcome that, and only surround myself with uh, good energy and belief. And I think it's not that my parents don't believe in me. I think it's because my mom herself struggled with a lot of anxiety, and I think it's just tied to that, um, because she still hasn't overcome it, and I hope that someday she will. Anyway, thanks for tuning in today. I'm just gonna close this thing off. You can click here to watch my previous video on this channel, and you can click here to watch my latest video on this channel. So I hope you have a fantastic rest of day, night, whichever time of day it is where you are right now. And bye for now, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye bye!